Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Vinny here. Just wanted to kind of drop my little advanced like ranked guide, I guess, like a solo queue kind of guide. Um Definitely not one of the top players by any means, but I do have uh I guess some decent game sense and knowledge when it comes to MOBAs, playing League of Legends for a long time and already sunk about like 500 hours into Deadlock. But yeah, I definitely notice a lot of mistakes a lot of people make, especially like in the lower elo stuff that I think can be uh, like pretty easily improved as long as people start realizing kind of what they're doing and the effect it has, and just kind of fixing some of those small little things because it really is. It's the little things that add up in a game like Deadlock that end up, changing the course of a fight or gold lead, whatever it may be, objectives, but yeah, with that being said, I guess I'll also say this is the first video I'm making in quite a while, so I definitely would appreciate any feedback, and yeah, if you guys enjoy, drop a like, sub, all that. But yeah, let's get into it. So I'm just gonna kind of talk over the gameplay here. Oh, sorry about that. While it's going on, and the first thing I'm gonna say about lane is I would definitely have to say that you should always kind of try to apply pressure unless you know you're gonna get oppressed by a certain matchup. Um, Actually, here, give me 1 second here. I just wanted to turn that down a little bit. I felt like I was having to talk over the game a little too much there, but anyways, yeah, like I was saying, I would definitely always try to apply some pressure early on. Just kind of feel out your opponent's skill. Um, Obviously, some matchups are going to be difficult, especially if you're playing against like a combo range tank lane, like a Vindicta Abrams or like Talon Abrams, even Viscous and Abrams. Like, I don't know. There's definitely some lanes you can get caught out really easy, especially like Bebop, right? But um, yeah, like right here, I'm just getting aggressive, just kind of asserting pressure, trying to see what we can make happen. I think, yeah, we get a kill here. We back Yamato off, and I mean, like, really, I mean, me and Ivy in this lane, we definitely, or no, who am I laning with? It's oh, it's Lash. So me and Lash in this lane definitely can synergize pretty well together, but really, that whole engagement kind of just happened because, or those kills rather, happened because we just tried to apply pressure early and they couldn't really stop us and win trades. Especially because Hayes is really weak in the early game. So, I mean, that's gonna vary a lot depending on who you play against. Some people are really bad early game, like the first couple levels. Others can be quite strong. So I would definitely say, once you learn matchups and all that, if you haven't already, I would definitely say, kind of keep in mind where your character's at in the early game, first couple levels compared to other characters, and then kind of play according to that. Because you definitely, like, I mean, if you have an advantage, whether it's farm or damage, whatever the advantage may be, you definitely want to press it. You don't want to just have an advantage and not capitalize on it, because that's basically just opening the door for the other team to kind of be able to do whatever they want to or whatever they need to do to get back into the game. So if you look at, yeah, just how I'm playing right now, I mean, I went back and bought once. Like I could back right now and buy, but it to me, I'm just sitting there thinking, okay, like if I back right now, like if I need to back, I will. But if I don't want to lose the pressure on back. That's gonna change depending on who you play and what you're buying, all that stuff. typically, like, whenever I have 1,000 for my first 2 items, I'll always back instantly. If I didn't already buy, you know, 500 at a time, whatever. But, yeah, kind of getting into some other stuff now, besides just laning. I feel like most people can kind of figure that out, but I feel like laning just kind of comes down to staying locked in on kind of just the advantages, what you can do, what you can get away with, what you can't. And a lot of that's just feeling stuff out. But I will say, when it comes to like macro decisions people make in lane and stuff, like right now, one thing I can criticize my own gameplay on is right over there in mid, you see those urns. Typically, if I'm really like locked in on capitalizing on everything, this is actually like I would have already been over there, and I probably should have already been over there off one of these waves. Like I know I'm in my head I'm like hard pressed on pressure, which isn't bad, but you know, I kind of just gave up a cycle of those urns and boxes that I could have had for free, and then had them again off reset in another minute or two here, if I would have got them when they first spawned. But I mean, it kind of ends up working out. It's no big deal. Like that's like the minor stuff, you know, but it adds up. All the little things definitely add up. There's definitely some good routes to know when it comes to some stuff, I'm sure. I use some of those routes in this game at some point, because I typically always do, but yeah, that right there, that I remember. I think I was a little irritated off that one, but that brings me to another point of this game, man, is even when you die to something you feel like you shouldn't die to and all that, man, I mean,
I'm glad that it does.
a big part of this game is mental. So like if you tilt off that, right? Like say I tilt off that and I go in and I die 2 or 3 more times in the next 5 minutes, right? That's like sealing my fate. Like whenever you tilt in a game, in a MOBA in general, you're kind of sealing your fate. Like sometimes you might be able to bring it back off the tilt and still do good, but most of the time you're gonna make small mistakes after small mistakes, and then they add up, and then you die, and then you're making big mistakes. It's I mean, controlling your mental is definitely probably one of the hardest skill gaps, I guess, in MOBAs a little bit, especially when you have teammates that are getting under your skin and stuff. Like, I would always recommend, you know, take a break if you're tilted, whatever. Don't just like tilt Q for 5 hours and shit, you know, like that's you're not gonna do yourself any favors like that. And I'd say the same thing when it comes to like overplaying and stuff too. Like if you're, you know, if you've been on Deadlock for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, whatever, and like you're not enjoying it, dude, like I mean, just take a break, man. You know, like whether it's in the ranked session or not, and you're like, man, I want to play the whole ranked session. Like if you find yourself getting irritated and not having fun, then take a break, step away, save your own, you know, sanity, and you know, just live on another day. Definitely will go farther that way, and you won't burn out. Burnout will stop you from getting better completely, you know what I mean? So yeah, well, definitely a lot of factors to think about when it comes to getting better at a game like Deadlock. But let's look around, because I haven't actually been farming any camps, and I definitely want to touch on some early game camps. So let's look at Ivy. Okay, so Ivy's actually on in their jungle right now, stealing their camps. Definitely a little risky, but stealing camps early on is extremely huge. It's actually like, look at what Lash is doing back here, right? Oh, who is Lash? Okay, I had to make sure I wasn't calling out any of the homies. But like Lash back here, right? Alright, we're gonna take a second to look at this. Because this is something I see all the time. Okay, so this Lash. Okay. I think he's coming off the back, whatever he's doing. Or maybe he just pushed his lane and went to farm, right? Okay, no problem. Understandable, right? But look at his clear time here, trying to do this camp. Okay. Look at where the wave is now. With Abrams here. See, Ivy's in their jungle, taking their camps. Now, there's not much more Lash could take here, so I kind of get it. But his grid time's really slow right now. This wave is crashing. He's actually losing, like, he's losing minions. I mean, Ivy came to take it, right? So at least the team didn't lose it. But say this Ivy died in jungle, right? You know, this Lash he's giving up control. Like, he could have control over that. And by going in this jungle, he gives up control. And basically says, okay, either this wave is going to crash and fuck up the tower, I'm going to lose the minions, or a teammate's going to take it. You know, obviously, he probably would have gone there late and, like, saved the Guardian, but it would have been, like, less than half HP, right? It's definitely like one of those things. I only recommend farming those back camps. So like all these camps back here, I pretty much only recommend farming them if the wave is either pushing in or if you're pushing out. You can do it in between waves, like that's smart. Or, and this is the only time really I will ever farm these, is if we have like lane pressure on all lanes, kind of. So, like, if we have lane pressure on all lanes and there's, like, dead time where it's like, okay, say they have 3 people dead, we're taking a walker, and, you know, they're just kind of giving it. Like, they aren't going to commit to a fight. Say we have, like, 4 people there, and then we have another dude in another lane and another guy in another lane, right? So it's like, okay, we have, you know, we're sieging a walker, and then we have 2 solos on a lane. And then the other lane's already pushed up. That's where it's like, okay, if they don't need me for a fight, if they don't actually, like, if me going there isn't going to help win anything, then I'll be like, okay, fuck it. I'll take a couple camps, get my farm up a little bit, and then I'll go either push a wave that's, like, crashing. So, like, that is one situation. If a wave is, like, gonna keep pushing and crash into my tower, or not, maybe not, like, you know, you don't want it to do damage to the tower or anything, but if you can get a big wave that's building up and push over to you and you're waiting on that, that's good. Or if you know, you're clearing up a wave and you kind of do it, if your clear time's fast enough, you can do it like while the minions are moving, after you push one wave before they hit the another one, and then you know, you kind of kill the next wave. That is a huge thing I see, man, because so many people love, they hear, you know, do as many camps as possible, right? But a lot of people don't understand that, like, okay, these camps back here, what I think they give you, what, it's like right around 400 or 500, maybe a little bit more than 500, could be 600, right? But like a wave itself gives you a decent amount. You know, what is it? I forgot the exact numbers. I should know this, especially for this video, but I think it's somewhere right around 400. So it's right about the same, right? So like if you do one camp, that's equivalent to like one wave, I think. I don't know. Anyways, it's about the same. But if you're missing, you know, 2 waves to do a camp, you're losing out on value. Like, a lot of people don't understand that. Like, they'll see 2 waves and they'll be like, oh, I'm gonna do this, these camps quick, and then I'll go save the walker. But it's like, homie, the walker's gonna kill the 2 waves that built up, and it's gonna be almost dead by the time you get there. And like, a lot of people don't understand that. Like, it's not just about, okay, make sure it's standing, like the walker, the guardian, whatever. It's about like, okay, that thing is gonna, like, it's gonna eat your souls. It's like gonna take your gold from you if you let the towers do that, because you don't get gold. So like, that's a big thing, you know. You want to capitalize as much as possible on all these neutral objectives, the camps, all this. You want to capitalize on everything. But if you're in the back, you know, you're basically making your team lose out on pressure. It's a big thing, man. It's a really big thing. especially when, like, if your team has pressure and you're in the lead, like, instead of being back in the back jungle, you go up here. You know, you're in the enemy jungle. You're taking the stuff that they need. Now they're losing out. Like, it's like double. You're basically, if you take their jungle, it's like twice as effective because everything you're taking from them, they're losing. If you're in your back jungle, you know, you're not taking anything away from the enemy team. Like, now there definitely are good times to farm it, but that's a big thing I see. So that's me rolling around in the goo ult. Let's get back to my POV.
Let's get this show on the road.
Oh, he lived that. Yeah, I remember that. So bridge buffs at 10 minutes. I think I was a little tunnel vision on that fight. I didn't grab mine, but bridge buffs spawn at 10 minutes, and every 5 minutes after that, bridge buffs are huge, equivalent to like 4,000 gold item. So definitely really big power-ups on the map. You know, it's funny, when I first started playing this game, I was like, oh, there's like no dragon, you know, from like League, there's just like a Baron. But, you know, and the urn, of course, but those bridge buffs kind of are that like neutral objective that's easy to take, you know. I mean, you don't have to kill anything for it. It's just free. Definitely capitalize on those, man, especially early game. Like, I mean, how much gold? You know, I have 9,000 right now. If you add 4,000 on that, you know, like, think about how much of a lead that would be, you know. So like, those are huge. Right here, definitely, I was stepping up a little bit too much maybe, but this team fight's kinda just all over the place. And I don't know, I can get away with a lot of stuff on Viscous that a lot of other people can't. Sometimes I play into that a little too much though. I could definitely stay. I need to work on being like having less deaths consistently. That's kind of one of the things I'm still working on. So you see, that's a big thing right there too, man. A lot of people would have chased that. A lot of people would have chased that haze right there, but it's not worth it because I would have missed out on 2 waves at least. You know, like, not even 30 seconds after I said, okay, you know what, I'm not gonna chase her, I already had 2 waves, you know. Like, if I'm chasing her around the map for 2 minutes, you know, I might lose 3-4 waves, you know. So like, always keep that in mind too. Like, kills, it's weird for me to say this because I'm someone that likes to fight and get kills a lot and like push the advantage whenever I can, you know what I'm saying? Like as much as I can, dude. But at the same time, also, you know, you also do have to factor in the time. And like, if you're getting, you know, whatever, 1,200 souls, 1,500, 2,000 souls a minute, you know, that means, you know, you're putting yourself kind of in a point where it's like, okay, like, this is what I need to get to my items on time, right? But if you're spending too much time running around chasing people and you're not farming, then, you know, that time is going to take a lot longer to get those items. So that's, you know, you got to weigh everything in this game when it comes to, like, both risk versus reward and kind of what is going to be, like, the most time efficient. Especially when it comes to farming and stuff. Like, right here, I'm kind of just, I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of wasting a little bit of time right here personally. I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot for me to do, but yeah, I'm definitely kind of just going around. This is like that dead point in the game. I take their camp here, but honestly, me going to that fight over in the other middle lane over there, where you see everyone grouped up, that would have been a good play as well. You know, I'm not gonna get too much into the the team aspect of things in this video, because obviously it's like a solo queue video for ranked kind of thing, you know. But I'll touch on some of the basics, and I will say that you know, obviously early mid game fights are really important in this game, like really important. Yeah, I died here trying to split, but yeah, those early mid game fights, man, like it's not worth farming the back camps and missing out on fights if those fights are going to give you the momentum you need, especially if you're stronger than them. So that's why I kind of look at that and I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. Like, taking enemy camps is huge. You know, me trying to split push off that, like, it wasn't a bad idea, but it wasn't executed well. And yeah, that's also a big thing, you know. You might have the right idea, but it might just, you know, the timing might be off, just doesn't get executed well. And you know, like, as much as I hate to say it, when it comes to getting better and trying to be, you know, like, I mean, essentially some of the best players in the game and stuff, you know, like, it's gonna take a long time. It's gonna take a lot of games for you to realize, like, okay, this is the right decision in this situation. But if this one small thing changes, you know, or whatever, then, you know, it's different, and you're gonna die a lot of times figuring stuff like that out. It's just, it is how it is. But you know, that's kind of why I'm making this video, is like, hopefully I can, you know, with some knowledge and watch videos. I mean, I know I always got a lot of knowledge, and it helped make my gameplay better, watching videos about you know, just how to play the game at a higher level and stuff. So that's kind of also why I'm making this. But yeah, at the same time, like I said earlier, definitely not, you know, not a top 50 player, top 500 player, or whatever. But I also know there's a lot of people that are below me in rank and stuff, and I think that can, you know, even people around my rank too, you know, like, I think I could probably get ranked a rank or two higher if I just fix my mistakes, you know. And I feel like a lot of people are in the same boat. You just gotta realize, like, okay, this is what I'm doing wrong, and this is what I gotta focus on fixing, and, you know, everything comes together with time and a little bit of dedication, you know. But as far as that, I feel like I'm touching on that side of it too much. So like, this team fight's going on right now, okay? Big team fight. Now you see, this time the split push actually works. You see, they're still fighting. You see, we had numbers on them, I believe. And look at our Lash again in the back jungle. Like, there's a lot he could be doing, kind of. Anyways, though, done hating on my teammates. But yeah, no, right there, that was like a fight we were gonna win. I definitely try to be there more for team fights than I like to split push, for sure. But yeah, I'm kind of limit testing here a little bit with the ball. I like to be annoying in their base with the ball sometimes. It helps take some pressure off objectives and stuff. In this situation right here, I actually think it worked pretty well. But yeah, when it comes to split pushing, there's an art to it. Definitely a big art. Map awareness is everything when it comes to split pushing. It really is. It's like, that whole time when I was split pushing, I'm sitting there looking at, okay, these people are on the map. Are they leaving? Are they dying? If they're dying, when are they spawning? If they're spawning, how long are they going to take to get to me? You know? If there's people not on the map, okay, can I kill them? You know? Or are they going to kill me? Are they going to chase me down? You know? Like, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And then, like, you know, if I'm going to get chased down, if I can't beat them in a 1v1, then, like, okay, chances are, you know, I'm probably stepped up too far. you know. But if you're playing someone like Viscous that has Cube, has Ball, has I don't have Echo Shard yet, but you know, Echo Shard, stuff like that. Do you have Magic Carpet? Like, if you have stuff like that, then you can get away with getting caught out and still get away. Like Viscous's ult is literally huge. Now right there, I don't know what was going on. I must have been a little out of it or tired or forgot what I was buying, but that's another big thing, man. I see a lot of people spending too much time in the shop. Normally, I'm always really quick about it. But yeah, no, it's a really, really bad habit to be taking long in the shop. You shouldn't take more than like 2, maybe 3 seconds in the shop. Like, you know, everyone, you know, whatever. If you need a couple extra seconds or whatever, you know, 5, 6 seconds. I mean, it's no big deal, but I see people sitting in the shop for 20, 30 seconds, and you know, if you do that 2 or 3, 4 times in a game, dude, those are minutes, like minutes where you could be getting farm and you're not. So, you know, obviously, I think that's kind of a given, but I don't know who needs to hear that. Yeah, stop spending so much time in the shop, man. Get out there, kill some stuff, go get some objectives. Hit the urns, the little golden statues, you know, go. Whatever you want to do. Literally anything. Just be getting something. So I want to touch on this because I feel like that's controversial what just happened. See, my whole entire team was basically around mid-boss trying to do urn, right? That kind of thing. Now, I didn't see everybody on the map here. And when I did, I'm instantly rushing their base. I wish I would have done that a little faster. But, I'm just going to pause this and talk for a second. But, there's a very good reason why I didn't go to that at all. And it's because when it was going down, I was sitting there staring at my mini-map and who was alive, and I'm like, okay, can they kill mid-boss without me? Yeah, they can kill it. We have a McGinnis, you know, McGinnis is really good with mid-boss. Okay. Who's alive? And how much trust do I have in my team to... Excuse me. But how much trust do I have in my team to secure that, you know? Because that is, I'm basically throwing it up to my team. I'm like, okay, listen, like, you guys, you know? And at the time, I was like, okay, yeah, because I saw a couple of people zoned out, and then I saw, you know, there's a couple of people dead, whatever. I saw my team grouped up, so it's like, okay, I'm at most like 1 or 2 people are gonna rush 3 of my teammates with McGinnis turret set up, right? So like, if you think about that situation, it's like, okay, yeah, whoever the fuck's, you know, whoever's gonna go there is gonna die instantly. So, wasn't too worried about it, and then I see the whole entire team start fighting. Their whole entire team. So now, while it wouldn't be a bad idea to go in there, you know, I would have had to, for me going there to have really paid off, it would have had to be at the very beginning of the team fight, right? Definitely putting my team at a disadvantage a little bit, but, you know, sometimes, you know, I honestly, I wasn't sure. I didn't think their whole entire team was going to be there, you know? I kind of figured, okay, I'll draw some pressure over here. My team can do that. I'll live because I have Viscous ult. But they didn't decide to take the bait on me and Lash. But because they wanted to do that, you know, there's a price to pay for every decision, essentially. You know, so me and him, we're getting a patron. And, I mean, what did we lose for it? We lost 2 deaths. We get their patron, you know? Do I die? I'm gonna die here, too. I got caught here, I think. Yeah. This is all my fault. Did I live? Wow. Yeah, that just shouldn't happen. That just shouldn't happen, bro. I don't know how I lived that.
Good work.
It's funny, too, because if you would have heard me when this match was going on, I totally thought I died when I hit the little barrier. The little pillar, trying to leave that side lane. But yeah, farming these things too, guys, especially later on in the game. a lot of games I farm them a lot more than I did this game. This game was kind of just a steamroll game, try to end the game as fast as possible, so it didn't really have as much impact as a game that would go to 40, 50 minutes, right? But yeah, the later the game goes, the more important those things are. Definitely always good though, to get those. There's, you know, maybe I'll show you guys some routes that I use after this pretty consistently. But yeah, no, those things are huge. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I didn't really have, you know, this is a pretty early game. I don't really have enough gold right now. Like I think I just completed my core, but yeah, when it comes to, you know, a strong haze, stuff like that, counter items, man, counter items, counter items, counter items, dude. Like, if Vindicta by knockdown, if it's, you know, a haze, I mean, you can buy metal skin, you can get, I mean, it depends a little bit, you know, if in certain people's kits you can get like Divine Kevlar, you can get, I'm forgetting about the one. Ethereal Shift, that's what it's called. Yeah, you get Ethereal Shift. You can get a couple different things. Silencer too also works if you can get her before she ults. And then for people like Warden, you know, slowing Hex. For heal tanks, you know, you can get like Toxic Bolts and Healbane, or you could also go like Decay if, you know, you're looking for like a cheaper way in like single target isolation, anti-heal. Yeah, definitely also, yeah, keeping in mind when it comes to builds, like default builds will take you so far, but you're always like, especially the higher level you play at, you're gonna need to get more into buying counter items. And it's not like every person on the team has to, but like one person on the team has to be able to counter like Vindicta flying, you know? And like someone on the team is gonna need anti-heal pretty much no matter what, but that's a given right now in the current meta. But it's just like things like that you have to think of, and it's like sometimes your team isn't gonna want to buy anti-heal, or they aren't gonna want to buy knockdown for Vindicta or Talon, and it's like, okay, well, that's rough, but you can still buy it, you know? It might suck to change your build up a little bit, but you know, it's better than just letting Vindicta do whatever she wants to your team, you know? Like sacrificing a little bit of gold or selling an item, missing a slot, like it's still a lot better than just letting Vindicta fly around and deal damage for free, you know? So sometimes you will have to be that guy that buys a counter item. Full route there, but if you want to do that, like around this part in the game, you go out the other side of that building I went in, and then you go on the roof, where there's those 3 golden statues as well as some boxes, and then there's 2 golden statues, on like one outside and one inside the first floor of that building. That's a huge spot. There's a lot of urns there. Same with mid. You know, there's the 2 statues outside on each lane of mid, and then there's 4 boxes and 2 statues inside on the top, and then there's more down low. Those are huge. Yeah, definitely, like, they made boxes strong. Like, the boxes and the golden statues, they're strong, man. Like, especially, you know, like, they're important early on, too. They can definitely make a difference, especially if you're getting, like, 2 cycles in a row on your lane. Like, you will notice a difference. But the later the game goes, man, the bigger they get. Like, they just get more and more meaningful. So, this is a weird game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm making some weird decisions here. Maybe this wasn't the best game to showcase myself, but we're gonna do it anyways. I'm sure I'll do this again. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'll make a more put together guide in the future, but this is just kind of me rambling. But yeah, no. There's definitely a little some sloppy gameplay. We could say for sure.
Going good.
But
Fire in the corner.
I mean, everything I'm saying is still valid, you know. I will say too, Viscus's ult, man, it takes a while to learn. Like I haven't had like a hard main. Like I've been switching it around, which I think is good for learning the game, especially, you know, if you can work on mastering the play style of certain characters in the game, and then you kind of get like a more developed understanding for it. But that's personal preference, you know, you don't need to do that. But that's just kind of how I like to learn these kinds of games. But yeah, I'm kind of just now getting good with the Viscus ult and more consistent with it. But yeah, no, I've played around with Talon, Vindicta, Mirage, Goo Boy, and Seven a little bit, but definitely at one point would like to master, you know, how to play just about everybody, except for Bebop. Can't do Bebop. I tried it. Can't do it. Just not for me. So, I'm not gonna touch on it too much, but
Headed to Broadway.
I will say, like, I think that fight that was going on in that right lane on my minimap, that was just kind of a useless fight, and they overcommitted to someone getting picked. So, like, them sending 6 people to get 1 pick,
Headed to yellow.
like, they didn't need to send 6 people for that. You know what I mean? And what ended up happening, like, we got pressure, and then they all rotate together. We opened up, like, we had one side of the map open, and now we have the other side of the map open. And now they're kind of letting us have the ability to collapse on them. Me getting that camp was controversial for sure. Probably could have grouped up a little sooner, but we were gonna lose that either way. But we probably could have collapsed on them, honestly. If this was like higher elo than what I'm in, they probably would have got collapsed on right there. As soon as, you know, everyone was alive and stuff, probably would have been like a bait fight into a team collapse. But you know, not all your games are gonna go like that. And I will say, I think when I was in this game, I definitely got kind of a feel for the, you know, that it was a little bit of a lower elo match. So instead of me, you know, I don't know, it's just minor differences in how you play them in, you know. It's like, instead of me overcommitting to fights and stuff, like I might, you know, when I can feel it's a really sweaty game, or not overcommit, but like fully commit with my team nonstop, like you need to in the higher elo matches. I definitely did take more of a solo farm, get strong, and like anchor the team kind of approach to this game. And you're gonna need to do that some games, you know? Like some games you're gonna have to be oh dang, I can't reverse.
Good times.
Yeah though. Essentially, some games you're gonna have to be doing all the macro. You know, you're gonna have to be going wave to wave. If you have 5 people grouped up on the left side of the map and you're spawning up, it's like, okay, if your team is losing, then maybe you go, right? If you showing up is gonna make the difference in a couple of your teammates dying and getting a couple of kills, then go. If not, it just became your job to clear 2 waves over and over again, farm jungle in between, and make the most out of your time as you can and get that gold, you know? Because, like, it's not worth it if you go and then, okay, now you have minions on 2 lanes, and it's like, okay, they're pushed up on your base. Now, if you lose the fight, you're going to lose your base. and you could lose the game. Like, say you have 3 teammates die at the same time, and then your team gets wiped, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna have 3 spawning into their 6 if you didn't kill anybody, and the minions are at the base, and then it's like, okay, sure, now the patron's weakened, but now we only have 3 that spawned. Then that's where it's like, one team fight like that, it can lose a game, especially if they have, lane pressure, because lane pressure buys time, and time is key in this game, man. Just, that's like, it's all the little stuff you got to think about. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know a lot of this stuff. I know, MOBA gamers are some smart people. So, I like I said, I know a lot of people know probably everything I've said already, especially if you're higher elo than me. You probably know more than me, honestly. But yeah, this is definitely for the people that are like struggling in those top ranks of the little ranked icon stuff. And yeah, I mean, I hope you guys learned a little something. And if you guys have any advice, like I said earlier in the video, please feel free to drop me advice either on the kinds of advice you might give to people, or advice for my videos. Basically, any advice is very much appreciated, as long as it's not outlandish advice, I suppose. um but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. And thanks for watching the first Deadlock video I ever made. Much love to the homies. And yeah, let me know what you guys want to see in the future. I might have to break this up into 2 parts. We will see if they'll let me, how much they'll let me upload. But yeah, doses.